13 cameras, 4 Lidar, 6 radar fuse into one 360-degree view. No human at the wheels. That is how a Robotaxi actually sees the world moving around it. Now picture that car at 60 miles per hour. It has split seconds to see everything and decide, with no human backup to grab the wheel. Get seeing wrong and it crashes. So how the machine sees is a genuine life-or-death engineering problem. Start with the 3 kinds of eyes. Cameras see color and detail. They read a stop sign, a red light, a brake light. Lidar fires laser pulses and times the bounce back, measuring exact distance and building a precise 3D shape of the world. Radar bounces radio waves to read how fast things move, and it punches through rain, fog, and snow. Here is the clever part. All 3 cover the same 360 degrees on purpose. Their views overlap so there are no blind spots around the car. That overlap is really redundancy, a backup. If a low sun blinds a camera, Lidar and radar still see the truck. If spray blinds Lidar, radar still clocks its speed. 3 different ways of looking at one moment. One sensor can be fooled. It is much harder to fool all 3 at once. But that raises a question. If cameras already see color and detail, why bolt on the expensive stuff? Because there are 2 ways to sense the world. A camera is passive. It just catches whatever light happens to arrive, so it struggles in darkness, in glare, in a downpour. Lidar and radar are active. They send out their own signal, laser, or radio, and read what comes back. So they make their own light and their own certainty. That is why Waymo says its 6th-generation suite can pick out objects up to 500 meters away, even in darkness or bad weather. 5 football fields at night in the rain. A camera-only setup cannot promise that. Waymo's co-CEO has argued that cameras alone eventually hit a safety ceiling, a limit you cannot engineer past no matter how good the software gets. Active senses are how you push past it. So why doesn't everyone just do that? Money. This is the fight splitting the whole industry in 2. Tesla takes the opposite bet. 8 cameras plus a eye, no Lidar, no radar at all, just pixels and software. Look at the price tags and you see why. Waymo's full Lidar, radar, and camera array cost about $12,700 per vehicle in 2024. Tesla's 8 cameras run roughly $400. That is about a 32-fold difference on hardware alone before you build a single car. So it is a real trade-off, not a right answer. Waymo buys safety through redundant, overlapping senses and pays for it. Tesla bets cheap cameras plus smarter eye can match that and scales far faster and cheaper. Cameras are getting better and Lidar is getting cheaper every year. Which bet wins is the central, still unsettled debate in self-driving. Alright, the car sees. How does seeing become steering? All that fused sensor data pours into neural networks, software modeled loosely on how brains link patterns, and they decide in a heartbeat. Traditionally, that happens in stages. One module spots objects, another predicts where they'll go, another plans the move. Waymo's research is trying something bolder. Its EMMA model, built on Google's Gemini AI, takes the raw sensor data and generates the driving path directly. One model straight from what it sees to where it goes, reasoning step by step through weird situations instead of using separate hand-built parts. And the reflexes are getting inhuman. New self-driving vision chips can spot a change in a scene in about 100 microseconds. You blink in roughly 100,000. So the machine notices the ball before your eyelid has even started to move. Seeing and deciding are collapsing into one fast loop. So does all that redundant, expensive seeing actually pay off? Here is the number that ties it together. Analysis of about 50 million driverless miles found Waymo's cars crashed 68% less often than human drivers, mile for mile, and 81% fewer crashes that hurt someone. 68% fewer crashes overall. 4 out of 5 injury crashes gone. That is the master loop closing. The 360-degree bubble from the hook. 13 cameras, 4 Lidar, 6 radar overlapping so nothing hides in a blind spot, is exactly what buys that safety margin. The pricey redundancy is not overkill. It is the whole point. 3 ways of seeing fused into one is what lets a car drive with no one watching the road. That is the through line. Seeing the world in 360 with overlapping senses is how a machine drives with no human at all. Whether cameras alone can ever match it is the fight worth watching. I break down one of these every day. Subscribe and the next one finds you.